Hi, welcome to another episode of That's the Thing 2 Overture. It is episode 88, and it is Wednesday, October the 30th.
Yeah, I'm Kevin.
I guess we could delay this by a day and put it out on Halloween.
Nah, it's
I'm
fine.
Drew.
Yeah, we could. This will be the spooky
Yeah,
episode.
the spookiest of all. I'm the
Where we
one
talk
armed.
about Alien,
Yeah,
Harry Bogart.
I'm the one-armed bandit.
How Terry Bogart destroyed Kevin's hands.
Actually, I'm 90% sure it was Terry Bogard that destroyed my hands. Because I remember there was a very distinct moment, and it was I was playing Terry Bogard, and I was trying to do his level 3 after his bread and butter, where you hit the level 3 after you hit the first hit of EX Rising Tackle. Not EX Rising Tackle, just regular. And like I was trying to force it,
Yeah.
and I felt like my hand do something. Like I felt a twinge in my left wrist when I was mashing. I'm like, oh, that's not good. But I thought
Oh no!
but I thought nothing of it. And then like there was the one where I think Drew was in my chat, and he was talking about how to like do the Terry corner combo, and I was trying to do it where you hit, and then like my hands started feeling funny. It wasn't
Oh no!
it wasn't the pain just yet, but it was like, oh, this doesn't feel, this is bad. This ain't good. And then I think that was where the damage was hit, and then over time it was just built. See, that was the white health that was building down, and then eventually
Uh,
it got cashed out, and then I was like, oh, now it hurts to move my thumb,
ooh.
and then
Oh,
I had to
But
go
like
to
you say, it's good. It's not carpal tunnel.
no, I went to the doctor, even though I was very scared to go to the doctor because I'm very afraid of
They,
doctors.
they always find something wrong with you.
Well, so I've realized it's not the doctor that scares me or the examination. It's the part afterwards where they're telling me about going to fill out the prescription and then paying for it and then going to do like, here's the card you need to fill out and here's the thing, and that like overloads
well,
me and causes me so much anxiety.
Yeah, it's the like, and now you're arrested for medical crimes because you didn't do this right.
It's the adult part. It's like, no, that's the part, like I can go in, get a shot, and leave. I don't care about that.
oh yeah,
But
vaccination's easy.
it's the part that's like, no, then my mom or dad would be the one at like the counter filling out all the paperwork and crap.
Yeah,
But when I have to do it, I'm like, ugh, I don't like it.
yeah,
Do
I feel
not
you.
like it. Yeah.
We're so good. I mean, like, I don't think he's like a high tier character, so that makes him better. So when you win, it's like, but I won with this honest character.
Yeah, and I also, well, I mean, I still think your time invested in like the whenever I see like tier list and they're putting him low, I'm like, I don't think he's low.
Yeah,
Like
he's also like, I feel like a complex enough character where it would take a while for him to develop anyway.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on, and I don't think any of it is like I didn't feel when I was playing him, and I feel like I have enough to like give some not like the top tier professional, but I'm like, you're not. You're never. I'm never in like the terrible matchup, unless it's
Yeah,
just that Akuma can, like, the top tiers are really good. Bison is
it's where
really
Yeah.
good and does a lot
I
of damage.
to be more on point because my mistakes leave me bleeding a lot more than their mistakes.
Yeah. But you're not like, oh, if they're jumping, I cannot do anything. Or if there's like you have technically every. It's like, I don't know. I feel he's kind of like my gut is he's around Luke. Luke and Terry are like similar.
Well, Luke got nerfed.
I thought he got buffed. I mean, he was.
Yeah, but he got nerfed from season 1.
Yeah, he got nerfed, and then
like he is not riding the same highs that he was.
No, but just in terms of like, you're good. You're not rocking like the F tier unless you're like, apparently Jamie hard counters me, but that's just me because he does.
Did you? Sorry, I was gonna say, did you see Nemo talking about how you know Zangief is a top tier this season?
I did not.
No.
It was the fact that Itazan was like even willing to travel to North America for a tournament. Like if Zangief was not strong, he would not be willing to make that trip.
He's like, oh no, I want to make some money. I'll go. Yeah.
This character, this term is free with this character.
That's very good. Yeah, so right now
I love how much Nemo hates Zangief and grapplers in general, but Zangief especially.
I mean, we haven't talked about the swip to Blueski from Twitter.
Oh yeah.
But to me, I still use some Twitters, and like one of the last good tweets was that Korean girl talking about Bison. She's just doing like the scissor kicks. I'm like, oh, that's yeah.
Yup.
I knew what she's saying.
Twitter's awful a lot of the time, but then sometimes you get a good one, and you're like, oh yeah, this is why I still come back to this.
I still check it because there's still some things on there that like so like recently they did the Magic Con in Las Vegas and they talked about like all the Magic the Gathering announcements, and that's not on Blueski. Even though I know it's Blue Sky, I like calling it Blueski.
No, that's good.
But it's so there's like some stuff on it, and I'm not gonna like delete my Twitter because that's like
No, you shouldn't, because someone else will then take your name and then just impersonate you.
Yeah, that's no good. So now I'm literally using it to be like to interact with brands, but it's the Blue Sky's been nice. It's been really
good.
It's popping off.
It's so nice that you just get to block all the Nazis.
I think it's nice that like you're not having to worry about like you're just getting what it used to be, which is some people posting sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh, that's nice. It's not being harvested for rage clicks.
So much rage. I also like not seeing the AI girlfriend ads.
Oh, that's
as
nice.
well, which is fantastic to me.
There's just no ads in general on it.
No.
I know.
Where is their money coming from?
I feel like this is one of those scenarios where they're getting like venture capital funds of going, okay, so eventually Twitter's just gonna go into the wreck and then we're gonna just invest in Twitter too, right?
Yeah.
Like we are pulling that Luigi does nothing and wins strategy. And that those Mario Party gifs where Luigi just stands there and the opponents just kill themselves.
Yeah, just
it's like, listen, all we have to do is just make Twitter and then do nothing, and eventually
all we have to do is make no mistakes. We win.
Twitter has now successfully started driving the like Japanese creatives off of the platform into Blue Sky.
I just want to say, I do like my currently pinned tweet. My most hated thing is making new accounts on things. I hate it. And I'm like, no, I gotta do it. I don't want my pictures being stolen. Like so I know I know my drawings are being stolen because that's just it. But it's kind of like the audacity saying we're stealing your drawings.
Yeah.
Like OpenAI or whatever. They're combing the internet. I can't stop them.
Yeah.
I can't stop them. They're doing it. They're probably on Blue Sky also doing it. You can't stop them. But the fact that the platform itself is like, no, we're taking this.
Yeah.
Luckily there's like only a little AI slop on Blue Sky, which I'm okay with. It's not like every other post.
Well, there's
like
also those same like block lists for, you know, Nazis and racists. There's also those same lists that you can subscribe to just block AI creatives.
Ugh, they should. They need another word. I like that from
Prompt writers.
I would say
prompt writers.
Like, because I don't like the word creativity in AI. Ugh, no.
Oh yeah, no, I don't either.
We need a wordsmith. Maybe like like we need something like the equivalent of like trace.
Greg Land. No, even Greg Land is better than a AI.
No, because there was some level of like the thing about tracing something is that there's still some manual dexterity that went into it. Like you
AI prompters.
Yeah, but that's like it's not.
No, it needs to be stronger.
It needs to have some like.
It's like the same. It's like the same thing. How they're like, oh, that's a hallucination when it makes up a fact, and it's like, no, that's a lie. That's just misinformation. It's not a hallucination. Oh, that's such a cute little name.
Yeah, I don't. That's something for someone, but I don't like. I just don't. I think like I know the person it appeals to, because it's the person who hates that someone had to spend like years to learn how to draw, and they go, well, why can't I just do that now? And then they like type in like large-breasted Miss Incredible, and then it like popped it out, and they're like, I'm an artist.
I did this. So here's my Patreon.
But like they got the same endorphins that someone actually completing the task does. In some ways, I am jealous of them because I would also like to hit that same creative high by doing nothing. That would rule.
But I don't think they do.
I think they do.
Because like that person, I know, because the person who's doing this and is satisfied. Like I'm not saying they don't get satisfied by it, but they're like such an empty, vapid person that it's not the same level of like, oh, I worked hard, I learned stuff, and I made this. It's just oh, she got big titties. I need to goon.
I don't understand how people are like looking at AI porn and being like, oh, it's so good.
Oh, it's terrible.
It looks disgusting.
It's terrible. It's universally terrible.
I will take the bad CG stuff over the AI.
Oh, dude, those let me tell you something. Let me tell you.
CG porn comics.
Those guys, like when you're looking at your tags. One, I always like that every AI, when someone tries to submit like AI stuff, it's just downvoted universally.
Good.
Like you'll see someone's like deviant art, like kind of mediocre pornography between, and they'll be given like, all right, we're gonna give at least that one the 2 stars because they drew it themselves. Yep. But this one, who's just like AI, like that one gets the 1 star.
Disgusting.
Get out of here.
Trash.
And that always makes me happy. But yeah, no, 3D CG porn comic that are awful. Like, nah. Welcome to the resistance.
Leagues above.
But you know what? There's still rigging and modeling going into the.
Listen, they're living their truths. And sometimes you need a tag, and that's the only way you're gonna get it. So you gotta strap in. You gotta go, all right.
This would hit all 5 of my tags. Like, I have to read it.
I need to see it. It's doing it. I'm not proud. I'm less proud than normal. But we're going there.
Did you guys hear about like the short story competition that had to like shut down because they're getting so many AI submissions in?
I'm not surprised.
People want to win. People.
It's like a very small, very classical like, hey, we just do this small little short story thing, and like you win like $100 or something from it, so it's like nothing, so no one cares. But it's just getting bombarded with AI slop.
Yep, because now it's like literally 0 bar to entry. It's just my type of prompt, and here's my short story.
Yeah,
and here's 100 more.
Yeah.
The Pokemon art contest.
Ugh.
My God.
Nah, it's.
I think I've said before, AI should only be used for shit posting and should not be monetizable.
I think
that's it.
There was like the proposed law or something where it was, and I think it would kill it, where it was something along the lines of if you use a generative AI in something, it can no longer be copyright.
So no, that's still the law.
Yeah, which I think it's like, okay, so like, yeah, if you want to use AI in SpongeBob, then that episode is now public domain or whatever.
Yeah, okay.
Like all of it. Like, so it's one, because it's like, nah, you can't go like, oh no, here's my Coke ad, haha, and it's like, yeah, now we all have it. We can do whatever we want with it. It's like, no, please. I think that would end it. Although, like,
I mean, it's already it's already being sued and it's in the exploratory process right now. But they're on record of saying if we can't steal this stuff for free, then this business can't
Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot of
can't be sustained.
There's a lot of this cannot work. Like it's where they're like, we need more nuclear power plants to fund people posting shrimp Jesus. Yeah. We need it. We need to double the electric grid so someone can say, I need to.
Let me show you Princess Mononoke in live action.
Yeah. So I got to help someone today that was like, it's like I've been looking for hours for these like articles. Can you help me? And I was like, yeah. It's like, okay, sure. And like looking, and it's like, okay, I'm finding like similar titles to these in journals, but I'm not finding like these authors in like from this issue or blah 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 blah. Just to let you know, if this is from a Chat GPT or something like it, they just make stuff up.
Oh,
so these sources may be fake. And they're like, oh, I didn't use Chat GPT, but I did use blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah. Come on. Really? Come on.
Oh, you didn't mean like Professor Kevin's dissertation on quantum physics wasn't real?
There's no such article or dissertation ever made? Oh, man.
Oh dang! It's almost as if because the generative AI was trained on so many, it just did like the Mad Libs of like the site part.
Yeah, that's all it does. It doesn't know anything. It just all it can do is recreate forms. The analogy I heard is, imagine you get dropped into a library in Thailand, and all the text. Like, the only texts are Thai, and there's no images. Can you figure out the language?
Maybe.
No, you cannot.
Oh, yeah,
have you seen what Thai looks like?
Yeah,
Yeah, you don't have any... You have nothing to go on. It's just, so you can start to be like, oh, well, this is a word, and this word normally goes with this word. You can pattern recognize. That's it.
Listen, it's just all the Mad Libber. I, the Mad Libber, am going to penis you to death at the penis tower. That was also a good tweet where that person was saying, I love Drawn Together, but I cannot defend it in any way.
I'm like, never tell anyone about this unless they've heard about it before.
See, no, that's okay. So that's gonna go into like I'm gonna segue into something where because I was on the Blue Sky and people were saying here's some stuff to like if you want to get to know me, and I saw some of those posts and it was just all like normal stuff or like it didn't. So my quandary is like how do you make something that's like a good get to know you? What kind of stuff do you put on there? Like, how deep do you go?
Like, yeah, that's the thing of if you're making a top 10 list, you can skip the ones that everyone likes.
Like, I don't need to put Pokemon on thing I like. Because it's like, you probably like Pokemon. Or if you're listening or interacting with me somewhere, it's like, no, you don't need that. You get
You also need to know the group you're in. If you're in a group of normies, then yes, you can put, I like Pokemon on it. And people are, you like the Pokemon. But if you're on a Twitter like, everyone already likes Pokemon. The cut you need to do is the specific version of Pokemon that you like.
It's like, because I was thinking about that. And the difference is saying, I like Star Wars. And then saying, I like Knights of the Old Republic and the novelization of Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. But only the novelization.
The other problem I have is for one like, I'll tell you one game or book or whatever I like. And I don't need to know 30 plus whatevers.
Or I don't need to know that someone needs to know where they say, oh man, Kevin is really a fan of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and like Mario World. This is shocking revelations all. I bet you didn't know I liked the television show Dragon Ball Z. Couldn't figure that one out.
Wow. Man, I bet you like Vegeta, don't you?
Yeah, that's true. Here's another shocker. I think the Venture Brothers is really good.
Actually, the fact that you know the Venture Brothers.
Is the Venture Brothers now like a deep cut?
It's pretty niche. It's pretty niche.
Yeah, because I was thinking there's some things like is Invader Zim like a deep cut?
If you say
I think it is.
It might be.
I say yes.
But then, I don't think Fairly Odd Parents is. Because it keeps getting remade.
So Zim is, but if you say, Jimmy the Homicidal Maniac, then that's deep cut.
Yeah, the Deep Jonans. We're talking about Squee. But it's like...
I would even say Zim is still a deep cut.
I think Zim is...
Because you also have to think about how many kids are online now that have never seen it or even heard of it.
Yeah, they don't know. They don't know about Invader Zim.
Yeah.
For better or worse. Now it's like Homestuck. And now Homestuck is technically starting to get to be old. Homestuck ended way before, and I don't count the remake where I started and then it just kind of also, I don't know. It's gone now. But Homestar, to me, Homestar Runner is a very... Because I was also thinking, it was the get to know you / media that shaped me. And I was thinking, Homestar is definitely on that list.
Yes.
Because it has changed how I speak. I think about Homestar a lot. It's still good.
So many stupid things I find myself muttering to myself. I heard there was some pep rally or something going on, and I heard, the new coach introduced as Coach Z. Yeah. And I was like, no, get out of here. Get out.
Hello there, children. It's me, Coach Zorg. It's just
volleyball coach.
I think about Hear the Cheat Have a Trophy. There's a lot of just a lot of Homestar. It's just in there. Oh. And then I would say stuff because Invader Zim has to be on, but Rugrats would be on my list because I think Nolan had to go. Nolan's came back.
He's blinking.
Yeah, that's okay. But like Rugrats is on my list. Like I would say
Like,
pre-Dill Rugrats. That's one of those things. Like there's shows where it's like eras of it.
Oh God!
Like
Technically,
like Simpsons
Oh.
is on my list, and so is South Park, and so is Futurama. But all of these shows, there's a cutoff point where they stop being the show and start being like the zombified corpse that's unwatchable.
American
Yeah.
Dad, just all of it.
American Dad's great. American Dad holds off a lot longer than like a lot of the other
Top
shows.
to bottom, it's so weird.
because like Family Guy fell off, but American Dad just because it got weird. And I think that's what saved it, is that you had your show that was supposed to be like, here's our reaction to like Bush era conservative politics, and then you had like 8 years of the Obama administration, and they didn't know what, like, their show no longer had a premise, so they just got weird. It's like, okay.
Jump the shark, boys. When jumping the shark goes right.
It did went really right.
You're really right.
You had Stelio Contos. Cheezers came back. It's just stupid. The peak episode, which is the Rapture episode. For blame them mother, for they know exactly what they did. Love it. What's Antichrist is terrible. It's a terrible
It just sucks.
It's great. So good.
Roger just goes home.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jeff goes on his intergalactic adventure for a bit. They just let it rock.
Yeah.
Ricky Spanish. Sometimes that butterfly dies in the jar.
Principal Lewis.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, it just gets weird.
the slow growth to maybe my favorite character ever now, Principal Lewis.
It's oh man. Reggie the koala just shows up as like a one-off gag. They just keep going.
Let's keep doing it.
I think that's one of the things that American Dad did. It just had like a dumb idea, and they said, "Nah, we're gonna keep doing this." We had an animation error where like the quadriplegic man like closed his blinds, and then instead of like addressing it, we're saying he's now mind quad and has psychic powers. It just keeps going.
It blew his arms into his mind.
Like that level of, that's genius right there. That's genius. It's art.
I don't know. Like, I'm thinking about what makes a good list. Like, what would be something that's like an automatic? Oh, I can trust you as a person. And the only thing I can think about is like, if someone's like 20th Century Boys.
That's quality.
I'm
Or
like, okay, this
like
person's
Ping
cool.
Pong the animation.
Yes.
I think Ping Pong is us, yeah, because that's one where like you're a real one. I think Utena is also you're a real one if you're talking about that.
Yeah.
Cowboy Bebop, you might not be a real one.
Yeah, no, that's just that's nothing.
Like
That's,
One Piece.
Wow, you like
But if you said Outlaw Star,
you're a real one. Like One
You'd be
Piece
a real one.
is just not, you're not a real one.
No.
It's
Yeah.
beloved. Listen, the bad
Yep.
guy and Inuyashiki liked One Piece.
Yup.
That just means that One Piece is good and popular. It doesn't mean that you are good for it. Yeah, it's like
no.
you're trying to do the nerd thing of like, how do I assess your taste in particular?
It's wow, you like Gojo? Everyone likes Gojo.
Good job.
But do you like Sumo Man? Do you like Comedy Man? Because Comedy Man rules.
Comedy Man's the best.
His fight is one of the best of the entire show. Do you like Chainsaw Man? I would say Chainsaw Man's up there. Would you say like Chainsaw Man 2's up there? Because like current events in Chainsaw Man 2, I think are incredible. Drew had the
I don't. Chainsaw Man, I don't think it's still too like super popular because everyone doesn't. A lot of people don't understand what Chainsaw Man is because they keep putting Dingy on those. Who would you trust? Boys lists.
Listen, I just think it's such like an appealing romance where Asa is like trying to shoot Dingy in the mouth with the gun devil's power, and then just starts making out with him. I'm like, this is cinema. This is art.
Fantastic. Oh no.
Yeah, Drew's no, I think he's all or doing something, whatever. But yeah, like no, it's great. It's great.
That's manga. That's anime. What's like a good game?
Okay,
Like,
I'm
if
back.
Okay.
If you said Beltaro,
Belatro's up there.
you're like, oh,
Yeah, that thing's like so. No, I don't think so. That's another.
That's like
That's
a just
hot-
quality.
would
That's like
Vampire
saying like
Survivor
Mario
go in there
Kart.
too, then?
Like you really like Mario Kart. It's like yeah,
Yeah.
Mario Kart's okay. But if you said Sonic and Sega All Stars, the first one, then you're a real.
You guys
one.
really asking
Shadow the
this
Hedgehog.
on this podcast.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
It's if they say they like Guilty Gear Double X Accent Core plus R.
Yeah, you're a real one.
Yeah, you're a real one.
That's what I've always like. The joke is if ever, and I know this is impossible, but if like some lady just starts saying the stuff I said on here, I'd be like, well, I guess I got to get married now.
Yeah.
Oh. Cut to Kevin buying the ring.
Yeah, I got to do it. If they start talking about like totally the erotic thriller that is Totally Spies, then it's over. That's one of the critical hits. There's some that are like critical hits where it's like, oh, ooh, you nailed it. You got good. You got me with like that Magoozy mix up. Yeah, like yeah.
Would Ed, Ed and Eddie?
No, Ed and Eddie's like really popular.
Yeah,
that's like Powerpuff Girls
that's
and
got
Dex.
the '90s kid problem.
Yeah, there's some things where it's like code like a lot of American cartoons back in the day were like very popular for like even ones you wouldn't expect were like, I don't know, is that kind of obscure? Like no, like Jackie Chan Adventures went for like 5 seasons.
Yep.
Even though my brain says that that's kind of an obtuse show, it's like, no, it wasn't. Like the 90s X-Men cartoon was so popular, it got like a remake last year. Like it's one of those.
X-Men Evolution is still popular.
Yeah. Like Teen Titans is popular. Batman's still pop. Like there's stuff where it's like it has to be like you really liked it, and it's not like either.
Oh, it's Mission Hill.
Mission Hill is definitely one.
Yeah,
that's a deep cut. Says they like Mission Hill, you're like, oh yeah.
Oh, that's a real one.
If someone says they like Clerks, the animated series,
that's also a real one. Yeah, so what we're trying to say is like, I think what this has turned into is what makes a real one. And there's some like Adult Swim shows that I'm like, yo, that's a real one right there. Like C-Lab, I think you're a real one. Yeah. C-Lab with Captain Murphy. Like, then if you make that specific, like, I'm like, oh, you're a real one. I also think Space Ghost Coast to Coast, you're a real one. I don't know. Is Space Ghost, was that too much?
If you said The Brack Show, I'd be for sure. But Space Ghost...
You got a little bit of a problem with this, because a lot of these are also, like, there's a heavy overlap of people who watch these shows are either real ones or stoners.
Yeah, like Aqua Teen. Okay. Like Aqua Teen is like one of these shows that I feel like you're either high or me. Where I love Aqua Teen, but I am not a stoner. But I think Aqua Teen is incredible. Where I'm like watching this, I'm like, I love this because it's a weird cartoon that showed up at like 11:30 on a Saturday. Where they're yelling.
I like it because I'm high as a kite, and man, that my fries are talking to me.
I liked it because Carl got turned into the cloud and tried to kill himself. It was really funny.
Commence to jiggling.
Commence to jiggling, y'all. Oh, it's just the cybernetic ghost of Christmas past who just keeps rambling, and then they just don't. Oh, Aqua Teen's stupid. It's just stupid.
Yep, just stupid.
Yeah, I like this of like what makes a real one.
It's pretty much it's what got one season and then unjustly canceled is
I think
the what is a real one.
I think Clone High still is a real one because I think Clone High is very connected. Like Part One Clone High. I haven't seen reboot Clone High.
Yeah, that's it. Like the new stuff sucks. Like so,
Yeah.
I can't anymore because now it's someone watch like I like these guys from Spider-Man and we're gonna see what they did.
So it's one where it's like it's where I can't say that even though like I love The Simpsons, but I love like a third of The Simpsons. And I
And you
can't,
love an ever dwindling percentage
yeah,
of
like
the Simpsons.
the amount, and I would say South Park goes in the same place where there's like the parts of South Park I love and I love to death are like very like not a it's like 4 seasons of that show. But I really like 4 seasons of that show. 4 seasons worth of episodes of that show are like masterpieces. But then it's like, no, it's not. They can't do. It doesn't count. You're getting your Andy Griffith problem when you're talking about like, over half of Andy Griffiths is terrible because it's the Andy Griffith in color. It's not good.
Oh.
Why would you let Barney go off the show? What were you thinking? What were you thinking? I'm trying to think of other stuff that's like, yo, that's a real one right there.
Like, so game. I'm trying to think game wise. Like
Video game wise,
Like if someone said
think,
Monster Hunter,
no, Monster Hunter's popular now.
that's popular now. Yeah.
It's gotten popular, yeah.
It's like Dark Souls used to be one of those, but now it's not.
Yeah.
Now Elden Ring is popular as hell.
Yeah, you're not one of those if you're like, oh, I like Monster Hunter, but I liked it when it was on the DS. Like, no, now you're one of those.
No, you're trying to hipster. You're trying to
Right.
hipster.
Yeah.
I think Endless Space 2.
Yes.
I still think you're a real one if you're into like if you talk about Endless Space. If you talk about some of those like if you're
the Dreamcast.
okay, yeah, the Fantasy Star Online. I would agree.
Crazy
Yeah,
Taxi.
Jet Set Radio, crazy, yeah, Space Channel 5.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is Tim Wallace is a real one.
Yes. Yeah, and I believe that. Yeah.
I was disappointed that he went modern Madden instead of like NFL Blitz for the Dreamcast. Then I would have been a bit more convinced. That's my snobbery.
So yeah.
Oh, he
So, yeah,
lost your vote,
Dreamcast-
Kevin.
Yeah, no, listen, you needed if you're talking about the Dreamcast and you're not playing NFL Blitz, and you said you chose to do modern Madden, then I gotta knock some points off.
Yeah.
I'm very discerning.
So Drew,
I'm a single issue voter, and that issue is the Sega Dreamcast.
Okay. So wait, so if it's Sonic Adventure DX, you're not a real one.
No,
But
that's
if
not
Sonic
a real
Adventure,
one.
then you're a real
Let me stop you there, Nolan. If it's Sonic the Hedgehog, you're not a real one.
one.
No, Sonic's no. Listen, as someone that likes Sonic the Hedgehog, like no, that's not what you advertise.
But if it's Knuckles, Halloween pumpkin hunting song,
Yeah, if you're talking about
a real
Pumpkin
one.
Hill, and you say here we are on Pumpkin Hill, then you are a real one. You are very much a. If you talk about the final boss fight of E101 Gammas, you talk about Gamma's final boss fight and how sick that song is when the saxophone starts cutting in. Oh, it's so good. I would play that campaign and then I would delete my save and do it again just so I could hear that song. 'Cause it was so sick. It's so
Let's
good.
see.
That boss is
That was a real
incredible.
game.
E10.
I don't know. I want to say if you say Ultimate Marvel 3, you're a real one, but I don't know if I can make that claim.
I feel like you're still a real one on that one.
I'm like, yeah, like even though it's Marvel, I still feel it's like turns people off too immediately. Like the people I want to say who make it Unreal ones, I think are still attached to like MVC2. The ones are like, oh, I love this game, and they never actually played it.
Oh yeah.
But Marvel 3, I don't think those people exist.
I think if you say Marvel Infinite was a good game, it played well, you're a real one.
Yo, Beyond looks sick as hell.
Like I think there's stuff where it's like if you there's stuff you could say that like yo you're a real one.
Yo, if you say Dragon Ball Fighter sucks, you're a real one.
Everyone.
Not
No, Dragon Ball Fighter sucks. You're a real one, and unless it's replacing MK1,
well.
and then you're like, thank God, Dragon Ball Fighters is back.
Yeah.
Well, that's not a hard. That's not very. That's a low bar.
So, like, also, I think Fighters is probably better now than it. But like, I don't know.
It is. They're working on it. I like
done
those
a lot
sparking
of work on
combos.
it. But it's just.
I like Vegeta doing that this over and over as he's coming down. It looks cool.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna front and say like, oh, I hate that. I'm like, no, that's good.
Like characters seem to actually be unique now.
Yeah. It just took them a while. They had to tweak it.
Yeah.
See, the thing is with that is that I think, like, you could say there is a game there where I look at Mortal Kombat 1 and I'd never thought there was a game there.
No.
Yeah.
No, like, you could, like unlike Raccoon World, you could fix Dragon Ball Fighters. I think the easiest fix is just reduce the health. I think that game felt like a slog.
Yeah.
I think if you just across the board cut health like 30 to 40%, I think that game feels way better.
I still think like do that, and it still bothers me that it's a tag fighter because that makes no sense for Dragon Ball Z. It needs to be a KOF style.
Oh, I could go with the KOF style. I like that KOF style.
Oh, if you say KOF, you're a real one.
KOF is a real one.
Is you a real one?
Unless you're from South America. Sadly, you're just regular.
Yeah, if you're from South America, Central or South America or Asia.
Yeah, then it's just kind
But
of
if you're an American, if you're an American or Canadian and you say you like KOF,
yeah, you're a real one. Like if it's one of those things like, are you a real one for like Dragon Ball Z? No. I saw a pumpkin on like the apartment complex that had the 4-star Dragon Ball carved into it. Like this is like no, this is eternal. You're not getting you don't get points.
And now I'm thinking, if you like Kirby, are you a real one?
You're a real one.
I think you are.
You're a real one.
You are very much a real one if you're down with Kirby.
Down with Kirby. I feel like if you're down with Metroid as well.
No, Metroid's a real one.
You're a real one.
I think so. Because Metroid is not like the hyper popular one.
No.
Like you get one Metroid game every 10 years, maybe.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like you're like, yo, and usually it's pretty good. Sometimes it's not, but usually it's pretty good. I think. While we're thinking about real ones, tell us about Metaphor. Have you started it?
Yeah, I have.
How's Metaphor going?
It's good. It's really good. I really like it. I like all the discussion around it as well. If you haven't played, it's the new Atlas game. Where I
intend to start when my hand has recovered.
Yes. If you can just go ahead and grab the demo whenever. And the demo's...
It's just the first.
The demo is 7 hours.
Like I intend,
essentially.
I will play it. It's just my handies are hurty, so I gotta.
Good.
I gotta wait.
Evan, did you get the package?
Yes, I did.
I figured you were waiting for
What
Halloween or
package?
something. But
No, I'm
yeah, no,
I'm waiting until like I'm in too much emotional distress. I need to be in a good state of mind to play it
Oh, okay.
because I'm kind of upset. I'm still like kind of upset and perturbed about my hand.
Yeah.
But probably next week, as Drew alluded to, he cursed me with the Homestuck Hive Swap Part 2, which I will play.
Intermission 2 is here.
Yeah, I will play, so we get to find out about Troll Society. Because that's what that one's about, going to Troll High School. Get hype, everyone. I'm thrilled. But yeah, Metaphor looks good. I haven't watched much about it. I will get
Is it? How does
It's
it
fun.
differ from like Persona?
Oh, so the main thing with Metaphor is where like in Persona you would get your personal persona, and the main character would have their personas that they can choose from, and then everyone else would have a singular one. This
Yeah.
one you can actually have like all your characters have the same persona,
It's
and then not only that, you can also pull like abilities from other personas and mix and match them.
yeah, it's more like a job
their-
system or a sphere grid.
Yeah,
I don't know if you
But
play.
still turn-based and everything?
Yeah.
there is turn based, but there's a so now if you're like a certain level above the enemies, you just kill them outright and you don't have to fight them. It's just if the enemies are like your level or above, you still have to do turn based.
Yeah, like from what I've heard, it's kind of like that's how they balance their leveling. Where like you grind until basically you're auto tapping the enemies in the field, and then it's like you're good to go for the boss now.
And not only that, there's like, oh man, okay, I know Pat's probably talked about it, but my favorite is the mage.
Oh, don't worry, I haven't listened to Pat, so it's fine.
Okay, good. There's one. So like in Persona games, like you can only go for a certain time, and then you like start running out of mana and
Yes.
health and stuff. So there's certain personas that will give you mana and or health by killing little enemies in the overworld.
Yeah, so you can like
So once
up.
so you can just start like once you get to a certain level, then you just have a bunch of little enemies. Then you wipe them out, and you get all your health and mana back.
Makes doing those dungeons
It's
like
so,
easier.
it's so much better.
So you can theoretically clear like the palace or whatever in one day instead of having to come back for like a couple, or like have to go halfway, then quit, recharge, and then come back.
Now, as it says, this game is a metaphor.
It's metaphor
because in their world, our world is the fantasy story.
Yeah, Utopia.
Because it's like they're reading like about our world. Like, man, there's only one race. It's like a utopia. It's like based on how there's no racism in there because everyone's the single.
There's no like bat people or like dog humans. They're all
people with horns.
Yeah, they all just look the same.
Robot people.
Which means
they're all just
they're not.
Same race.
There's no racism anymore.
So there would be no racism.
Oh, that's adorable.
It is adorable, but you can understand why they would think that way, though. You can understand why someone would be like, "Oh man." People wouldn't be hating the dog people and the elves so much if everyone was just the same.
Yeah,
it's like, oh,
the main bad guys like, there's too much discrimination going on. We need to fix that. So I'm going to kill the king and be evil. And I'm like, understandable.
Isn't like one of the characters just like Griffin Lucifer? His name's like Lucy.
Dude, yes. Lewis, who's the main bad guy, is literally just Griffith.
Yeah, he's just Griffith Satan. It's like I know what I'm seeing, Satan. I know when you're there.
I hate the aristocracy. I hate like the elites. I'm gonna kill them all. Peasants join me. And I'm like, I can get behind that. But
this the villain? How is this the villain?
Oh, because he looks like Griffith from Berserk.
Yeah. No, he's the villain because he killed the king and your friend and tried to kill the prince, and you're friends with the prince. That's why he's your bad guy.
Oh, so I'm the villain for petty, squabbly
reasons. He's gonna have a turn. He's gonna do something.
I mean, to be fair, he is doing atrocities, but his main goal is like good. In his eyes, at least.
Sometimes you gotta do a war crime or two. That's the Griffin's
Yeah,
way.
sometimes you gotta do a couple war crimes, so then, like, at the end, everything will be better.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'll go down as history's
Yeah.
Nobunaga. You're
Oh, yeah.
Satan
And,
George
so
Washington.
there's a lot of monsters in it, but there's one main kind of monster that everyone is terrified at, and they're really strong.
Is
Oh,
it man?
And
yes.
those are the humans.
Yeah, the human.
Okay, good.
The human. The
Like,
most terrifying
yo.
beast of them all.
Humans, they're literally just like, guys, if you see a human run, they'll fucking kill you. Get out of there.
Listen, they put, just like the scary door, they put all the most dangerous animals into one thing. He just walks in and goes, turns out it's man.
It's man. It's a human being. Oh yeah. Also, the starting character is so all the races have like horns or wings or like
Yeah, they're like elves.
or like
or
robot
orcs
men
whatever.
or elves or they have like ears. There's the lowest race, which is what you are, which is an Elden, which is just looks like a normal human. You just don't have any like special traits.
Yeah,
That's
you
it.
got none of that.
You were treated like shit, but they still put dog people and robot people above you.
Well, yeah, because he's a robot. He's a
Yeah,
robot.
those robots and those dogs are thieves, so that's why we don't trust them.
Oh,
Those dogs are the scum of the earth. So
listen.
we can't
Of
ever
course, how
trust them.
could you trust them? Have you seen how they react when a tennis ball is presented? They lose all control.
Filthy.
They see that tennis ball, they just start going.
Yo, if you got horns though, and you got ears,
you're
you got
right.
knife ears or horns, yo, you're good to go.
Okay.
Get into the church. Great game. I can't wait to play more of it.
All right.
It's really fun.
Do you think it's gonna usurp Balatro for Game of the Year?
So far, like I've been playing, I haven't been able to put it down. I'm gonna have to see how it ends though.
All right.
I'll be honest. I don't know. I played Balatro and I kind of enjoy it, but like maybe I just don't click with it, or maybe I don't understand how to build good Joker combos.
That's also true.
But it's fun, kind of.
Okay, cause like for me, that it got in. It's still in. I love that game.
Yeah, it's in my mind for sure.
I think about Black. Oh, it's so good. Get your Jokers.
Like it doesn't hit the same as like Vampire Survivors.
No, Vampire Survivors is like you're hitting the morphine or whatever. You're hitting like the good chemical button constantly.
Just
Balatro,
releasing that dopamine.
yeah, Balatro is not as high. Like there has yet to be a video game that is more dopamine inducing than Vampire Survivors. Even the other like pseudo Vampire Survivors do not hit as hard as Vampire Survivors.
That is true.
There's
Like-
there's too much Vampire Survivors. Like I can't play it anymore. I can't like
Uh-huh.
I
The
have
Castlevania coming out, and it's like, oh man.
yeah, that's like Vampire Survivors 2. And I will probably not play it for a while because I spent like 50 hours playing Vampire Survivors, and I'm kind of like that's a lot.
Yeah. I have it on my phone right now.
It's really good. It's really good. We were going to talk about... Oh, I don't know, we could talk a little bit about how like the Magic the Gathering Marvel art looks terrible.
Awful. I hate it.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
So here's my...
It's baffling.
So here's my guess. And I think it's because the My Little Pony art also looked horrendous. And I think there's something about like stylized, like your stylized cartoon comic that just does not translate to Magic, or their artist can't do it. Like their current stock or artists they have on payroll or that they commission just cannot understand it. Because the Final Fantasy art I think looks fine. Because for the most part, Final Fantasy is like normal proportioned characters wearing like fantasy / sci-fi kind of garb. Like like most Final Fantasy characters wouldn't look that out of place in like a Magic the Gathering set or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like
It is fantasy.
where Wolverine's gonna look weird if you don't draw him correctly. He's gonna look weird. Iron Man's gonna look weird because Wolverine, like as a like Wolverine, you can't draw him with like realistic body proportions because he's like 5'2" and like 300-pound raw muscle, completely built. He's gonna look weird.
But see,
you can't do it.
but like I disagree because like it's the difference between like drawing an elf and drawing a dwarf. Like they know how to change the proportions to get what they want, and like Disney and Marvel have all the
Oh, they
sheets
have like style
necessary.
guides or crap, and they're not letting
That's
you do it.
I think the problem is like it's just too strict. It's just like no, this is what they have to look like.
You can't make him look too silly or too weird. Like there's a conflicting style guide because like the Warhammer art I thought looked fine.
Mm-hmm. And like Final Fantasy, like hell, they're used to like Yoko Taro drawing their stuff. They know.
No, the Amano who looks really weird.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
not Yoko.
Yeah.
I mean that would be
Yeah,
Yoko
yeah.
Taro.
Oh my god, yeah, no.
No, but yeah, Amano art, and they just go like say yeah whatever go for it, or it'll be But also I think it meshes well. Like I thought the Warhammer there's no egregious things in like any of the Warhammer sets, or like the Fallout stuff. I didn't think looked like Fallout looked fine.
But these are all
wasn't
not
great, wasn't
as
bad.
protective
Yeah.
as Disney.
Yeah, because there's also I think they're trying to like maybe split the difference because you still have that MCU kind of weird. It's like that that Avengers. Do you remember? Like, it was like that
Avengers Assemble?
Yeah, no, not the cartoon.
The cartoon?
I liked the cartoon, and then it got bad, even though it did look kind of ugly, but I still liked it. It was the
Wait, did you just say Avengers Assemble was good? Do you mean Earth's Mightiest Heroes?
That's the one I'm thinking of. I'm sorry. I like
Avengers Assemble is the other one.
Oh, is that the
To be
bad
fair,
one?
there's been like 5 of them.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of like slop Marvel stuff coming out. But it was that video game that like Square Enix made that was like the Marvel Avengers live service, and where every character looked like the dollar store version of the character because they were not the comic book version, and they weren't the movie star, but they were like the cover band version of the movie star. Do you remember that? Where it looked like here's like we're not Robert Downey Jr. and we're not like Tony Stark from the comics. We're like Robert Downey Jr. impersonator. Where you're like, this kind of looks weird. And I get the same kind of vibe when I'm looking at like the Marvel art, where I'm like, this is like guy in a costume. Which I get, it's like superhero, but it's not. It's just it doesn't quite.
Person I saw cosplaying at some con.
Yeah, and it's like a good cosplay compared to the general. You know, but it's just not hitting. Not hitting.
Yeah.
It's the same issue as Marvel 3 to MVCI.
Yeah, I think that's the better issue.
Yeah.
Because MVC, where you're like,
it's clear that Disney just likes to be very particular, and then that just makes artists suffer.
So now I'm curious what I'm pretty sure the next thing they're doing is going to look at least okay. Because that's going to be the SpongeBob one after these.
well, I mean, like, so there's another thing in Magic. I don't want to get too far onto it because I don't think anyone cares. But like, they're going to like 3 Universes Beyond sets a year that are standard legal, and I do not like that because I feel like you're diluting the brand into Fortnite, and I feel like why they're doing that is because they fumbled their brand so hard that people don't care about like the story, and I don't care about the story. Like you Wizards and them like mismanaged so hard that when you're just saying screw it, we're doing the Spider-Man set, I go yeah okay, it's better
it's
than
the thing. It's the thing of I was reading about, like, I started off reading about some of the new sets coming out, and then I started reading Making Magic stuff. And it was a whole lot of, and players really responded well to this, so we agreed to just do it. And they've done that so consistently with everything that it's just like, okay, I don't like, there's no, you can't just stay high, you can't just stay up there, then that just means everything's in the middle now.
I would say it's
Like, if,
you're what they're also doing is like the past recent in-universe Magic sets have been kind of weak, other than Bloomborough, which is good. So it's like, okay, here's like the murder detective set in Ravnica, and people didn't like that one too much. But then we released Lord of the Rings, and people really liked that one. So I think we're gonna say is that people really like the outside crossovers more. It's like, no, that's your data set is like saying,
Yeah.
like on like I'm gonna serve you a moldy piece of toast, and then I'm gonna serve you a freshly baked pizza. And then everyone's like, man, people really love this pizza. They want more pizza. Or like I gave you like a rotten tomato and then like a steak, and they just love meat. They hate vegetables. We keep giving them like these like kind of rotten and like kind of day old like nasty healthy food. And they're not eating it.
I'm trying to think of like the example, but it kept being things like I was reading like the history of flip cards and stuff, and it would be like, and then this turned out to be really popular. So we just said this can go in any set you want it to go in, and it's like, but you can't do that. You have to control the drip.
Well, part of the control the drip is that they can't because they're getting overworked. And they've downsized their play test and their design teams, and now they're doing like 6 sets a year. So they just have to go, okay, they really like double-sided cards. Great, we don't have to design a new mechanic. We'll just put that one here. They like hexproof or ward. Fine, we'll just do it. Lighten the load any way possible because Hasbro has decided to cut our staff even more because they've mismanaged something.
Just
Jesus.
Anyway, I still play Magic the Gathering.
A haunted house.
I literally, yeah. Oh, so Saturday I went to a Halloween party, which then eventually just turned into about 4 hours of me playing Magic with friends.
Hell yeah!
Yep.
And we were playing a lot of the haunted house stuff.
Oh, you're playing Duskmorn. How do you feel about Duskmorn?
It's okay. I liked there was a I can't remember what deck it was. It seems like there's a deck that's just race to the bottom where it's no one heals, everyone just keeps taking damage, and we'll see who loses first.
Yeah, that's
I
think it's
that
like
was my favorite deck when I was playing.
It's like the TV man. It's like Master of Pain or something.
Yeah, it's the Lord of Pain.
Yeah, that's
it's Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, this is one of the things where you're like, but also my issue with Duskmorn is that they decided to go for like this kind of 80s VCR Ghostbuster technology, and I don't think it works too well. But then again,
it looks very weird in Magic.
It looks very weird, but then like the monster designs I think are cool. Like I like having like your Cenobite magics in there. I'm like, oh, that's cool. You throw that in there. Yeah. I'm not gonna complain. But then like there's like teenager with flashlight, and I don't like that. No. That's a bit too much. I understand you made it like a little bit. You put like some tubes on that flashlight to try to make it like fantasy, but no, it's just a guy with a flashlight. Not a fan.
I think that hurts it because I think at some point I could accept. Oh, it is the multiverse, so one of them is just going to be like normal ass people.
But it's just I don't know. I think it hurts because I like the idea. Also, the problem is they like to insert their like planeswalker characters in there, which I don't think they should. Because I feel like
I honestly think planeswalkers was one of the worst decisions they've made.
I think they're fine when it was like bad guys like Urza or Nickel, like where you have like like a bad guy
when it was larger than life characters who didn't have cards.
Like a planeswalker should be the kind of dude who's like tough enough that you're fighting him and then they leave, go to another world, and then come back because they're that strong. Like, it's not a good guy move. It's not a good guy power. As I think, wasn't that like Oda or someone who was talking, where like you give your heroes weak, supposedly weak powers, so then that you root for them.
I think so, yeah.
I remember something where it's like, yeah, that's why Luffy stretches and doesn't just like shoot lasers, because otherwise it's like, okay, well, that's cool. No, you want your hero to overcome. Anyway, I gotta go.
All right.
So thanks for chatting.
Okay.
Have a happy
Yeah.
Halloween.
Everyone have a happy Halloween.
Bye. Spookums.